We made it. Almost. We're only at 10 o'clock. It's nice to see everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm going to start by having Linda Brandt, Vice President of the Resident Council Executive Board, come up and talk a little bit about the Community Carnival, which is coming up quick. So Linda, would you come on up?
Let me know, I'm a little short for this, but I think you can hear me all right, correct? Okay. It's 10 days to carnival time, so mark your calendar. It will be November the 2nd from 10 to 12. Now, if you did not receive this flyer, which tells you where to go and the placement of everything at the carnival that Elaine did beautifully, she will be at the back of the room when you leave and she will give you one. The day of the carnival, look for members of the board passing out carry bags because you're going to be getting a lot of prizes and some handouts. And so we have decided to have a carry bag for you that you can walk around with. The raffle will be in the bistro courtyard next to the big fountain at 12 noon. So please try to be there. If you are unable to, your name will be on that raffle ticket, so you will not miss out if you win a prize. We really hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a very fun day.
Thank you, Linda. So we hope we'll see you there. We do have some fun prizes for you. Okay, next. Okay, the Great American Shakeout. We made it. We've been planning for months and months and months, and that day has finally passed. Thank heavens. Spent a lot of time with UCI, and then of course Judy and her Earthquake Committee have spent a lot of time preparing. Everyone did a fabulous job. Thank you so much for those of you who participated. It helps us be better and prepared when an earthquake hits. So thank you. A couple takeaways from me. The CareDex technology is about where it was last June when we went down to UCI. It's still not that helpful and useful in our setting. There still has to be a lot of reporting to get the information in, which is going to be challenging when we're just trying to deal with an actual emergency. Where it does come in handy still is for somebody who has memory impairment and who is missing, because I can locate them immediately using CareDex. But right now it's still a beta test, and right now we're a little on the fence if we're impressed by it or not. But I know that Judy kind of got back to basics with the real work of kind of checking door to door, and so she's going to kind of let us know what went well, what we could do better next time. So please welcome Judy Phillips.
I want you to know that it's really difficult to incorporate something like this into your regular everyday attire.
Yeah, it kind of stands out.
So this is my 28-year-old jacket that hangs in the back of my closet. Did FEMA actually come?
No, we had the Office of Emergency Services from Governor Gavin Newsom's office was here. We did have a representative from Katie Porter. We did have, I don't believe we had a FEMA representative actually come. They were on Zoom. We had quite a few folks on Zoom actually watching the drill.
Part of it, I think, was smoother than it's been in the past, which is really, really great. I want to remind you all that the resident part of what happens in the drill and in an earthquake is that we are the search part of it, and the staff is the rescue part of it. So we do the searching, we try and find everybody, and we try and get help to them, and that's the rescue part of it, which the staff did. I understand they pre-positioned one each per floor in nursing, housekeeping, and maintenance. And they got there so fast that they got there before our black captains did in many cases. So the problems that I had scattered out through the floors, I had 13 problems assigned to residents who were actors, and they read off a problem, and often that problem was resolved before our block captain got there. So we didn't get a report that it had been resolved, except kind of by the grapevine that we heard what had happened. First of all, the preparations leading up to it were good. You all knew it was going to happen. We reminded you over and over and over again. We learned that we should have reminded our walkie-talkie holders to check their batteries. In one case, it had worked in the morning and then it didn't work during the drill. And so that was really frustrating. So we had a bullhorn that worked the day before but didn't work the day of the drill. But there are 2 bullhorns, and so we were able to scavenge the batteries from the second one and made it work. We learned that there's a location in the Serenity Garden near the new fountain that does not get walkie-talkie reception, so we won't stand there in the future. We'll move to another spot. And we have 2 block captains at the south end of the building that didn't get good reception, so we need to see if there's a better spot that they can stand in that will work more optimally. Our walkie-talkies are on the family radio service spectrum, and so we don't always get good reception. We had a lot of dropouts yesterday, but the information got through. So the good news for us is that the reporting went much, much more smoothly than it has in the past. I put out a real quick questionnaire last night and asked people to respond before their memory went away of what happened, asking how many times did you have to ask for a room number again? How many times did you have to ask who to send to fix the problem? And we had zeros. I have half of the questionnaires came back this morning. So we have really, really good response on that. Very few times did our people have to go back and ask for more information. So it's coming through from the bottom all the way to the top. And that saves so much time. The opening bell and the closing bell were done exactly right. It was really great. And one thing that didn't happen is that we need to be able to send the people who are outside the building in the courtyards back in as soon as we know the building's safe. And they should tell me when that's safe, but they didn't, and so I had to ask for it. And I wasn't thinking about it for a while. So in the future, we'll ask them to try and remember, and then if I remember, we'll make it work. Now, I thought you might be interested to know, when we find a unit without a door tag, we have to assume there's someone inside who couldn't get to the door. Maybe they're trapped. And so we have 3 ways of trying to figure that out before we call nursing. One is to check the list of people who signed out on vacation. If they're gone for an overnight, we're asking you to sign out at the front desk. And we had a good list of people who were out. It wasn't complete, but we're asking you to please remember, if you're going to be overnight, to sign out at the front desk. It helps us in a situation like this. The second thing we look at is people who've gone with the transportation department. And Debbie was really busy, so she had me talking to Joel. So Joel was able to get me the transportation list, and by the way, that really works super well. So Joel got me the people who were out with transportation, our transportation. And then the third list is the people whose cars are missing in the garage. So we send a runner to the garage, and they have a list from Sandy was keeping it for a while. I'm not sure if she's still the one. But they try and keep that up to date. We always find a few cars that have been sold that are still on the list when we go through that, and then we report it. But if there's a car that's out and there's 2 people in the apartment that that car belongs to, it doesn't mean very much, because one person may be out and the other one's still home. But if it's a single person, then, and the car is out, then we assume 2 things. One is they're out with their car. The other thing is they've taken their car to the garage for service, and that we have no way of knowing. But we do assume that they're out with the car. So if we have a no door tag, we have 3 ways of trying to eliminate the problem. And if that doesn't answer the question, we send nursing to go inside with a key and open the place and make sure that it's okay. And so as far as we know, we found everybody we were looking for. And we want to thank you all for your participation, and let's keep it up.
Judy,
Question?
yes. Somebody came into our apartment, and I don't know who it was. I think that somebody said leave an ID of who was there.
You said the same thing last time we had this. Colleen was not there?
No.
And so if there's a no door tag, they would check it to make sure you weren't injured inside. And in the past, they were supposed to put a yellow sticky on the door that meant they had cleared it. Did you find a yellow sticky when you came home?
There was a yellow sticky, but no name.
They don't put a name on it. It was one of the nurses would have gone in.
I'd like to know who it was.
You'd like them to put their name on the yellow sticky.
I would.
I'll pass that on to Pam, okay?
Judy?
Hey, Bonnie.
I also was not at home. I was called down at 10 o'clock to go to the office, and Debbie told me not to hang my door tag.
I did tell you to hang your door tag, and you said you'd go back up and do it.
Well, I couldn't, I didn't have time.
Okay. So
Because
yeah.
I couldn't get past the elevators.
Got it. Yeah, so, you know,
So,
the
and-
case, in the
And
case.
there was a yellow sticky on my door,
Okay.
but, I was never found.
Well,
Still lost.
I'm still lost as far as everybody knows. I was never found. I was supposed to wander around, according to CareDex.
That's
I was
CareDex.
supposed to wander around and be lost.
Okay, we didn't do CareDex.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
so Bonnie, what happened towards the end, around 11:30, they just said everyone's accounted for, and then they ended the drill. So that's not fair to you,
Yeah,
because you were
and-
probably wondering,
Yeah,
when am I
well,
gonna be found?
I did come back at 11:30 because I was told
Yeah.
that, yes.
Yeah,
But there was no indication that anybody knew where I was or why I was wandering around.
we were reporting it in CareDex, but you couldn't hear that, obviously. So anyway, so things to do better next time if you're assigned a role, and hopefully we won't be doing it with CareDex again, because that took a lot of time. But if, you know, if you're assigned a role where you're supposed to be away from your apartment, hang the green if you don't want somebody to go in, because the staff doesn't know, they're just following
Yeah,
orders. If
except
they don't
we
see a
were
door
told,
tag, they're
"Don't
supposed to
hang
check.
it if it hasn't happened, you shouldn't hang your door tag. You expressed that, Judy, many times.
Right, what we're saying, the baseline is if the apartment is empty, there should be no door tag. Because you don't know there's an earthquake that's about to happen if you go out, and so it should stay empty so we can do a search.
Anyway, it was kind of
Chaotic at the end.
disorganized.
It was chaotic at the end, I agree. Okay, so back to the business at hand. We recently had a terrible COVID surge that began on September 28th and had a positive, at least one positive resident or positive staff through October 5th, right when Pam was gone, which is awesome. So there was a lot of extra reporting and stuff, and thankfully everybody got through it fairly unscathed. And so currently we are past the isolation point. There are no residents, no staff who are currently positive. So we finally got past that surge, but of course, always as a reminder, wear your mask when you're in common areas, and especially as we get into these colder months. Apparently I saw some news report that I didn't read the article yet. There's a new variant, of course, so it's coming for the holidays. Okay, something I wanted to talk to you about, because I really need to kind of rein in some expenses. So, and I want you guys to know why. So We recently received a survey regarding the continental breakfast and the happy hour. And we're the only Front Porch community that offers a daily complimentary continental breakfast and a complimentary daily happy hour. And what that results in is, you can, a little hard to read. So right now, we are currently $72,972 over in food for the year. And we're running about 15,000 over per month. So that's a concern, obviously, for corporate, and they're asking me why it's so high. And we also have, and I think we got used to, unfortunately, taking our meals to go during the pandemic. And so in order to make that doable, we've had to spend a lot in paper supplies. And so right now we're spending about $8,800 over our budget for plates, utensils, bags, which translates to almost 53,000 year to date over in paper supplies. So I'm asking you to, if you can, please choose to eat in the bistro or the Grove as much as possible. And then I also want your feedback on the continental breakfast and the happy hour. I think we've got to pull back a little bit, just so that we're not blowing our budget out of the water. So this is only for 6 months, the $52,000 over in food. So basically, we are projected to end the year at $100,000 over budget in food. So if you see us start pulling back a little, this is why, but I will let you know ahead of time. Yes, Bob?
Do you have any estimate of how much the continental breakfast and the happy hour is costing?
About $7,500 for the continental breakfast and about $5,000 for the happy hour. Per month. Yeah, yeah, so, obviously we're gonna have to take a look at that. So, might pull back a little bit. And again, yes, Connie?
When did this survey go out? I do not recall receiving one, and no one in this row.
Today's box.
Yeah, it just went out yesterday. Yes, Terry?
How is the budget set for food? Are we being compared to other facilities that don't have it, which would automatically make us over? Or are we compared to our past history?
We're compared by a PRD, a cost, price per resident per day, which for this community is about $13 per resident. And that's how they times it out per month.
Excuse me, I didn't quite understand it. Are you saying we're compared to an average front porch cost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then automatically, you're going to be shown as over budget.
Yeah, because we're providing free food. So that's why we're over budget.
Yes, but I'm against that. What are the capabilities?
So you guys are all, listen, you guys pay for 3 points a day, right? That's a breakfast and lunch or a dinner. That's what's in your contract. So you're getting complimentary stuff. So I just need to pull it back a little.
That's
Yes, ma'am.
the reason most of us came here.
For free, I don't think the continental breakfast started until just before I got here.
It was going beforehand.
Not 5 years.
I don't think it's in the contract, but I'll double check. I'll double check.
Excuse me, what's in the contract is very vague in a lot of places. What we came on is here and asking residents what was going on. And that is why the choices we all made. Continuing care, the food, the quality of the food, the meal plans and everything else, those are all major factors in why we came here.
Okay, well, we're over budget, so that's gonna hit
By
somewhere.
definition, and I don't think much of what worked for saying you should be the same as the others. That is penny wise and dollar foolish.
Well, you can smile all you want to, Deb, but when we came here, I also asked, Meredith, how much does this go up per year? Does it go up about 5% or whatever? She said, oh, no, it doesn't go up that much. And so I presumed that it wasn't gonna go up past 5%. This last time you went up 5%, then they did a show of taking everybody, three of the officers here up to Pasadena to show the new digs that they spent all the money on, and now they're hollering about where food's a problem. The food has been cut down already, and the food you get for the meal, as far as I'm concerned, 50% of it I don't care for, or it's too little. If you ask for half, you get a quarter, and or you may actually, if it's something they can't get rid of, you actually get a whole order anyway. And there's a lot of things wrong here that I don't think we should be cutting down so much.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you all. I just wanted to be transparent with you all. So please send back your surveys, and obviously we're going to take your feedback into consideration clearly. Yes, Patty?
I can understand that people get upset at losing something, but I also think that we have to realize that if we were living on the outside, we would be paying a great deal more for our food and these other things because of the current situation. And that if we say we don't want anything taken away, and we have to be careful what we take away and how we take away, and if it's returned at a later date, if the situation changes, that will determine the amount of the increase we have each year in our monthly payment. It has to be paid for.
Well, thank you for that, Patty. I'm gonna go. Okay. There you go.
So do you want to lower something now and have a lower increase in March or in April when we start the new increase? Or do you want to give something up, or do you want to keep everything and have a higher increase?
Exactly, and I obviously am going to try to meet you guys more than halfway to make sure that you get what you have consistently had and what you're expecting. But I wanted to be transparent with you. Okay, Philanthropy Committee Holiday Gala Luncheon. Again, we are doing a luncheon to encourage or create more awareness for charitable care. And of course, we've asked for donations if you would like, just for our silent auction, which of course the proceeds will go to charitable care. And then if you can go ahead and change to the next one. And Dawn, you had asked about this, and we checked with Front Porch Communities Foundation, and currently we have a combined total of $319,518.72 for charitable care. And that's another thing that sets Front Porch apart, is that you'll never have to leave should you run out of funds because of the generosity of the folks who contribute to the Charitable Care Fund. There's also a permanently endowed fund for Walnut Village Charitable Care in the amount of $50,000, and the earnings from this fund support the above balance. So thank you for those of you who continue to contribute. Next up is Ethan.
Thank you, Deborah. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Okay, maintenance updates. Everybody knows we just got done with all the window washing. We are in the process of finishing up bringing in the screens for everybody's unit. So if you have screens that are missing after today, please call the front desk and let us know so we can make a work order and find out what happened. Maybe it got misplaced or broken or something, so we can get that fixed for you guys. Starting next week, we are gonna be putting in the new HVAC units for all the residents that had needed one. So if you are scheduled to get one, we will be calling you today and starting scheduling for Monday. So as the schedule goes on, depending on how quickly they get the units done, you'll be called probably the day or two before to let you know when they'll be in. The process takes about 2 to 4 hours, depending on location and whatnot. So if you want to plan when you're scheduled to be out doing something, that would be good, because it's going to be kind of noisy. If not, you're welcome to stay there and be there while they're working on it.
In relation to that, can I ask, can you save the wall pockets when they take them out?
Yeah, they should be taking those down, and then maintenance should be going back to put them back up. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the spa goes, we've had to put that on hold for the refinishing. I'm in the process of acquiring a new pool vendor right now, so I don't want to make any drastic changes before we get somebody in here and set up properly. So just bear with me on that, please. The trash compactor, we've been working really hard back there to try and cover things up so that it doesn't look aesthetically so bad. We are in the process of getting a pergola to go over the trash compactor area. So hopefully over the next 2 months we'll get that set up and scheduled to be put in. Also, for security, I know there's been, over the last couple of months, we have hired a new security company, and there's been a lot of issues with this company that we've had reports on. So we are actually going to get another company to come in here starting December 1st. So you'll probably see a new set of people coming in. We apologize for the issues that have happened in the past, but we'll try and get a new company that's got some better quality people to come in here. And that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Yes?
I have a question about the security coming in from the garage. First of all, the gates are open much longer than it needs to be for a car to come in. Once somebody is in there, they have absolute free range to get into the building, because they can take any elevator, they can take any stairwell.
Yeah, and we are still addressing that issue with
The elevator from down there should also have a fob.
right, yeah, and that's what we have been working on for the last month or so. Everything's been set up. We're just waiting on a few little mechanical parts to come in to lock down the stairwell doors. Once those are done, then we'll go live with the system, and everything down there will be fob access only.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for those of you who came to the COVID booster clinic. We had 123 residents and 23 staff get their bivalent booster. If you received your flu shot or COVID booster off-site, please let nursing know so that they can update your records. And of course, please let the care department know if you have any nursing needs. Of course, we've got Mosaics in the Grove, your 2-point option in the Grove available. And then I will speak to Kim upon her return on Monday. I've gotten some feedback that there's a lot of fried food and you want some more vegetable options, so we're gonna think about a vegetable dish and maybe another entree salad. Sales and marketing updates. We have had quite a bit of good activity, so we have 9 move-ins through December, 3 move-ins in October. 1 person moved in yesterday into 172. If you want to welcome her, her name is Terry. November, we have 3 move-ins and they're working on more, and December they have 3 move-ins scheduled. So that will help. Print advertising, we're still advertising in the OC Register on Sunday and the Leisure World newspaper. We'll be doing a big professional event on October 27th in the Red Chair Lounge to try to get more referrals. And then a direct mail will be going out as well. And I'll welcome Ryan to come on up.
Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. That's better. There we go. I'm going to do my best modeling impression for a moment. I'm just going to so we've got our 2023 Alzheimer's shirts finally in, and they're finally available. We've been sitting on them for a few months. We didn't want to make them too available too early, because then we'd probably forget what we're doing it for, what was it for. So the actual Alzheimer's walk is scheduled in springtime at Angel Stadium again. So this is a shirt for this year, Shocking It to Alzheimer's. Walnut Village is on the sleeve again. Inflation hasn't hit these shirts, so these are still available for a donation of $20. And all the proceeds go to Orange County Alzheimer's Association, which can be a cash donation or a check made out to Alzheimer's Orange County. All kinds of different sizes, from small to double XL. Get your size. If you're looking for a certain size, get it first. If you're looking for probably a medium or a large, those ones are going to go out first. Just to let you know. I try to get the right amount based off how many we got rid of last year. But if you're looking for a certain size, get it well before it's gone. It also makes a great little holiday gift too, so something to also keep in mind. Gonna switch gears. That's all I've got for the Wellbeing Center. But since Judy's not here, since she got taken a few extra days, I'm gonna try and report and keep everyone up to date on all the fun stuff that's happening around Halloween, that is. So for Thursday, October 27th, in the putting green at 6:30, there's s'mores, spooky stories, and more. Sunday, October 30th at 1:30 in the LLC is the original Ghostbuster movie. And then a whole bunch of stuff happening on Halloween itself. Starting early, 10 in the morning in the Bistro Courtyard is a pet parade. Feel free to do that, right? That's always a fun event. 10:30, the kids from next door from the Prince of Peace are going to be coming through and doing a costume parade as well. Then you get a little break, and then around 4 o'clock, there's a lot going on in the Red Chair Lounge. Resident costume parade with different categories, dead or alive, most original handmade categories, most elegant period costume, the spookiest costumes. At 4 o'clock, there's also going to be the judging of the staff decorated and or carved pumpkins as well. 5 o'clock, the Grove Fright Nights dinner, and then 6:30 to 7:30, the Haunted Maze in the Serenity Garden, which Judy always works very hard on. I think a lot of you all help with that as well, so that's always a fun, busy day. So we hope to see everyone for all those events.
Thank you, Ryan. Chaplain will be giving you some spiritual care department updates.
Good morning. It's great to be here, isn't it? It's a wonderful place to be. We have some regular ongoing chapel events. We continue to have Sunday morning worship services weekly at 10:30 a.m. in the chapel here. We have our regular weekly Bible studies, Bible discussions, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 in the LLC, the Limited Liability Corporation. And monthly we have bereavement support the first Wednesday of the month at 2:00 p.m. in the vault. So if you're, and there's not a whole lot of people that attend those, maybe one or two. And it varies from month to month. We're thinking about making it weekly instead of monthly. However, right now, if you have something you want to talk about, if you're going through some personal loss, come on over. We can talk about that. And again, it's not a large crowd. It's 1 or 2 people or none at the outside. We also have a weekly Summer House Bible study and brief worship service on Tuesdays in Summer House, which is a wonderful and fun time. Upcoming chapel events, we have the chapel newsletter that comes out once a month. The first Monday of the month is the chapel newsletter, and I invite you to grab a copy of that, look at it, let me know what you think, and ideally there's things in that newsletter that will have a very positive effect on you, something you can get out of it personally to benefit you. Coming up in November, we're going to have the Advent suppers, and I believe they will be on Tuesday evenings during Advent, beginning November 29th. They will be 5 o'clock or 5:30 to 7 o'clock, and it's comparable to what we did last year and the year before, and so plan on being there for those. It's a great time of fellowship. It's a great time of practicing Advent, and if it's something that would benefit you, or if you're just curious, what happens during an Advent supper, come on over and be a part of that. We also have the Thanksgiving worship service on Wednesday, November 23rd. What time does that say the service will be? 1 o'clock in the morning. What was that?
Is it a pajama party?
Pajama party. Tell you what, let's do. With your permission, let's change that, if it's okay, and make that 11 o'clock in the morning. So Thanksgiving worship service, Wednesday, November 23rd at 11 o'clock in the morning. And then we have chaplain services, which are always here. We have the spiritual, which has to do with the connection of the transcendent. The connection of the transcendent, which is above and beyond us. And the awareness of the inner life and the connection of the two. That's what spirituality is all about. Connecting and connecting. And I really enjoy talking to you about that and look forward to the opportunity. So those who would like to, feel free to continue coming and talking and just sharing with me what's going on in your life in that regard. Spirituality is also manifest very often in our religion, our religiousness. One way of expressing spirituality is through our religion, which includes religious practice, church services, your own personal religious practice, and so forth. And then, of course, there's always the opportunity for emotional growth. Personal counseling, bereavement, end-of-life counseling, personal support, small group gathering. If that's something that would benefit you, if you'd just like to talk about issues going on in your life, and many of you have, some of you have, feel free to come on by and let's talk about that. And let's go into depth in areas of your life that we might be able to benefit. So thanks. This is a great place to be, and it's always, always great to see you.
Thank you, Les. Sandy, would you like to come up and do resident care updates?
It's a little too high for me. Good morning. All right, so as always, we always have scams going on, so I just want to remind everyone, if anyone calls and you don't recognize the number, most phones have a caller ID, don't answer it. If you do answer it and you don't know who it is, you can always hang up, say I'm not interested. Same with emails. If you get an email from someone that you don't know, just delete it. If it is from someone you think you might know but you're not sure, like your bank or something, go directly to their website instead of responding to the email. So again, just don't give out your personal information to anyone on the phone unless you called them directly. And transportation. So all requests must be in writing. You can get the forms at the welcome desk, the post office, or transportation desk. And if you have any questions regarding anything, either call the welcome desk or transportation desk. And remember, not to tell them about any appointments in person because they're not at the desk to schedule it in on the computer. So again, make sure it's in writing and then they can get back to you on that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And then last, Paul Simon passed away, unfortunately. And then Terry Parker moved in yesterday into 172, so please welcome her. And that's all I have for you today. Any additional questions?
This is not a question, but I was given our new study book for my Zoom Bible study. It's by Max Lucado, and it's called They Walked with God. It's a nice, big, glossy hardwood cover, and I left it in the post. And I didn't mean to give it away, but somebody took it. And I really need it back. If you really want to do the Bible study, I can arrange for you to keep the book and do the Bible study too. But I need my book. This is Linda Priester.
Okay, and we'll put a notice of it, Linda, in the post to remind whoever maybe borrowed the book from Max Lucado to return it to the front desk, and then we'll give you a call.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, on that note, I bid you